Hi, I'm Joe Gothard, Superintendent of the Madison Metropolitan School District. I'm excited for you to learn more about MMSD's athletics program, which is provided in our 4 high schools, Memorial, West, East, and La Follette. MMSD Athletics provides a wide range of opportunities, and we are excited that you are interested in participating in our program. As a former MMSD athlete and coach, I know the valuable contributions co-curricular activities make to a student's educational experience. Our athletics program helps build community while also supporting the development of commitment, reliability, honesty, integrity, accountability, and perseverance. Importantly, it provides students with an opportunity to be part of a team and to have fun participating in one or more activities that they enjoy. Now I'd like to turn things over to Jeremy Schlitz, District Athletic Director, and his team to share more about MMSD's 2024-2025 athletic programs, guidelines, and requirements.
Thank you, Dr. Gothard. Really appreciate the passion that you've put in as an MMSD athlete and coach and now a leader. We look forward to a wonderful seasons ahead of us for MMSD athletics. We have a number of different items for you to enjoy, take in, and learn from our various athletic directors and from myself. Related to a couple of changes to our athletic code, along with the processes and procedures to have a valuable experience within our athletic and co-curricular programs. Thanks for your attention to these items, and please reach out to your high school athletic department or myself if you have any questions or we can help in any way getting you connected to our MMSD athletics programs. Thanks so much and have a great school year. Thanks for joining me to discuss some of our athletic updates for this upcoming school year and understanding some of the new rules that are going to be more reflective of the way our schools implement the behavior education plan and to allow our athletes to have an educational component to go along with the responsibility for the privilege of participating in education-based athletics. We're going to learn about recent changes to our school's athletic code. It's important that all student athletes and parents understand these ahead of time so they understand what they're getting into. Sharing our mission and vision is to make sure that we're creating a student that's able to completely embrace owning their own experience and develop commitment, reliability, honesty, accountability, perseverance, all these great qualities that our co-curriculars can provide, and have them striving to become better students, athletes, leaders, and citizens. The purpose of our athletic programs are to provide unique educational experiences that will contribute to the betterment of them becoming better citizens. Our emphasis is upon teaching through athletics, in addition to the teaching of the skills of athletics. The athletic code oftentimes talks about expectations that we have that go beyond the expectations for our general student population for the privilege of participating in co-curriculars. They come in 3 different levels. I want to hopefully simplify and make accessible the code violations and what the consequences and some details related to those in that process, to make sure everybody understands the responsibility that they have to the athletic code. Our level 1 athletic code violations are related to minor misconducts and school behavior, oftentimes that result in in-school or out-of-school suspension. The changes here is to codify the consequence related to those in-school or out-of-school suspensions, where the first offense results in missing the same number of contests as the days the students are suspended. Level 2 code violations are alcohol or other drug-related incidents, and those violations do include any attendance at gatherings where use or possession is present, possession, use, or being under the influence as an individual. We used to have self-reporting be a way to reduce the consequences. We've gone to a program which allows all to access the supports that they need and reduce those initial consequences as a result of the educational component present as part of our athletic code. Now for those level 2 athletic code violations related to alcohol or other drug-related offenses, the first offense will miss 20% of the contests of their current or upcoming season. A second occurrence of that violation would result in 40%, and a third in 80%. This does also have an impact on postseason. The WI rule does not allow for athletes to compete that are serving a code violation beyond the end of their regular season, but it does count as one contest after those percentages have been calculated for our varsity athletes competing in those WI tournament events. Our level 3 code violations are serious offenses, oftentimes related to a police or justice interaction or conduct leading to more than a 3-day suspension from school. These are heard and determined by a commission of 3 assistant principals who review the case to determine an initial consequence between 50 and 150% of those current or upcoming seasons of contest miss. We encourage families that are involved with this to expedite the impact to please request a commission once charges have been filed. That allows us to start the process immediately. The athletic code process operates independently from the legal system or behavior education plan investigation. The appeal process for all 3 of those go through the building principal and then the athletic director. You would contact your athletic office to schedule those appeals after that initial determination of a level 1, 2, or 3 offense has occurred. It is separate from any legal or Title IX proceedings that may be going on within or outside of the school. Those appeals are organized through the athletics office. Why might an appeal be important for an athlete? To make sure they have an opportunity to speak their truth, to own their own experience, to provide some unique circumstances that may be surrounding the situation which caused the student to be in violation of the athletic code upon that initial determination. I also find in my experience with these before, it's important that an athlete is able to understand the impact that has, and to do that, to be able to talk with the adults and explain kind of circumstances to help learn from that experience as well. So an appeal might be an important solution for you. It is determined that there's a minimum amount of consequence related to athletic code violations. Our level 1 violations have a minimum of 1 contest miss. Our level 2 have a minimum of 2 contests, and our level 3 have a minimum of 50% of the contest miss. Additionally, they need to have scheduled and completed the commission, and there are some double IAA eligibility considerations that do come into play with level 3 violations. The athletic director is going to be informed of any behavior education plan violations which may then result in an athletic code violation. There's an automatic notification for all behavior incidents, and those are shared with the athletic office so we can swiftly make sure that those are taken care of moving forward and restore the eligibility of our student athletes as soon as possible. Athletes are under the athletic code once they're enrolled as a 9th grader, and that athletic code does last 365 days a year. In terms of our investigation of non-behavior education plan violations, often those level 3 are violations that occur outside of school purview. Those are led by the athletic director with support from the principal and the district athletic director. There is no specific athletics assistant principal designation. As you noticed, we tried to have the commission formed of that principals in terms of the student athlete's contact and advocate. The code is separate from the behavior education plan and the justice system. Timely information leads to a smoother return to activities. And participation in athletics is a privilege, not a right. The athletic code helps maintain a fair and disciplined program. Violating the code can lead to temporary or permanent loss of this privilege. When we recognize athletics as a privilege, with that privilege comes these additional responsibilities and requirements. Please take a look at the athletic code, which has been updated for the 24-25 school year, is included in the online forms you completed to be able to access our programming. Make choices that will keep you in the game and represent your school positively. And remember, your actions have consequences both on and off the field. A good discussion point following this for our families is with your student athlete, figure out how we can take steps to ensure that you follow the athletic code. What are some situations you can do to get you out of this situation, which may put this at risk for you and for your teammates? Hold each other accountable. Together, we can make good decisions, make this a positive experience, and make the athletic code something that allows us to do what's best both off the field and perform on the field to our highest of abilities. Office or myself in district athletics. Thanks so much. Good luck this year.
Hi, my name is TJ Ragnes. I'm the athletic director at East High School, and I'm here today to share MMSD's athletics academic eligibility guidelines and rules. First thing we'll examine is the initial academic eligibility for a student athlete upon entering an athletics season. That is determined by his, her, or their grades from the most recent grading period. For the fall season, that initial academic eligibility is determined by their spring semester of the previous school year, unless he, she, or they took summer school. If the student athlete took summer school, up to 2 non-passing spring semester grades can be replaced by earning passing grades in up to 2 summer school courses. The summer school courses do not have to be in the same class or subject in order to replace a non-passing spring semester grade. If there is no summer school enrollment, or if the summer school enrollment existed, but there were more than 2 non-passing spring semester grades, and the student athlete is then left with 1 remaining non-passing grade, they are academically ineligible for 22% of the fall season. If there are 2 or more remaining non-passing spring semester grades, they are academically ineligible for 33% of the fall season. That ineligibility period begins with the date of the first contest of the fall season. Generally, that will happen before school starts. For the winter season, the initial academic eligibility is determined by his, her, or their grades from the most recent either 9-week progress report or semester grading period. If a student athlete has 1 non-passing grade, they are academically ineligible for all contests within 10 school days, and this period must include at least 1 contest. However, it will not include more than 15% of the contests in the winter season. If there are 2 or more non-passing grades during that most recent grading period, they are academically ineligible for all contests within 15 school days. The period of ineligibility, that is when we start counting those school days, begins the day after the grade submittal deadline day for the most recent grading period. Your athletic office or counselor will know that specific date for each of the grading periods. For the spring season, initial academic eligibility is determined by his, her, or their grades from the most recent, again, either 9-week progress or semester grading period. If a student athlete has 1 non-passing grade, they are academically ineligible for all contests, again, within 10 school days. This does need to include at least 1 contest, but will not include more than 22% of the contests in the spring season. If there are 2 or more non-passing grades, they are academically ineligible for all contests within 15 school days. And again, this period of ineligibility begins the day after the grade submittal deadline day for the most recent grading period. Once the initial academic eligibility has been established and the student has been determined to be eligible academically to compete, they are then subject to ongoing and in-season academic eligibility. The short version of that is that a student athlete must remain passing in all classes at all times in order to maintain and remain academically eligible to compete. The way that is monitored is by the weekly academic report, which is generated and shared with the coaches by the athletic office every Tuesday. As I mentioned, once they complete initial eligibility requirements and are determined to be eligible academically, a student athlete is and will remain academically eligible until they show a non-passing grade in an individual class for at least 2 of those consecutive of those weekly academic reports. When they do show a non-passing grade in a certain class for 2 consecutive reports, they become ineligible academically until the next or a subsequent report shows them again passing that class. One side note to that is if Infinite Campus is showing a non-passing grade for 2 consecutive reports. But that's only because a teacher has not had the opportunity to update the grade book with additional work or a recent test score that would have raised the grade. An email from that teacher stating that the student athlete is passing will supersede the report and the student will be eligible. A student athlete is only ineligible if they show a non-passing grade in the same class for 2 consecutive reports. If they have a non-passing grade in one class on a report, raise that grade by the next report, but now have a non-passing grade in a different class. So even so they've had a non-passing grade for 2 consecutive reports, but it's in 2 different classes, they do not lose eligibility. They remain eligible. During the course of the season, grading periods will be completed, generally with either the 9-week progress reports or, in the case of the winter, the first semester. Any student athlete that receives a non-passing grade on either that 9-week progress report or as a semester grade, that is an F, an incomplete, or a no credit, they immediately become academically ineligible. However, their eligibility may be regained immediately if that incomplete or no credit is made up or fixed within 10 school days of the grade submittal deadline day. That is, the academic suspension from competition is lifted immediately as soon as the athletic office receives confirmation from the teacher that a passing grade has been achieved. However, if that grade has not been raised and the student has one non-passing grade, they become academically ineligible for all contests within 10 school days. That again must include at least one contest, but will not include more than 22% of the fall season or 15% of the winter or spring season. 2 or more non-passing grades will mean they are academically ineligible for all contests within 15 school days. In this case, the period of ineligibility begins the day after grade submittal deadline day for all academic periods. One final note about academic eligibility is that academic ineligibility does not end WIAA tournament eligibility. Only an athletic code violation, that is a behavioral suspension from competition, ends or causes ineligibility for the WIAA playoff series. If a student athlete does have to sit out a playoff contest for their grades, they are able to return once the academic suspension is served. That's basically an overview of the academic eligibility for our student athletes at MMSD. You can always ask your counselor or your athletic office if you have any questions at all. Thank you very much for watching and best of luck in your upcoming seasons.
Hey, MMSD student athletes and families. My name is Scott Swanson and I'm the athletic director at Madison LaFollette High School. I would like to share with you some information about our certified athletic trainers that we have at each of the 4 comprehensive high schools. We know that playing competitive high school athletics might come with its bumps, bruises, and injuries, which is why we have certified UW Health athletic trainers at each of the high schools for at least 3 hours a day to serve our student athletes and help them get back to competition and as soon and as safely as possible if an injury does occur. Not only do they help treat athletes after an injury occurs, there is also a lot of work done by our athletic trainers to prevent injuries. Our athletic trainers are stationed in the training room after school each day and at a lot of our competitions ready to serve our student athletes. If you have an injury or feel that something isn't right, a great first step before going to your doctor's office is to check in with your athletic trainer. They will most likely be able to help you get back to competition through any number of different forms of rehab, whether it be stretching, icing, rest, anything like that. However, if they feel that it is a bigger issue, they can also refer you to a sports medicine doctor that might be better suited to help you with your injury than your primary care provider. Our athletic trainers work very closely with our coaching staff to make sure that everyone is ready, safe, and healthy enough for competition. So once again, please use them as a resource whenever you feel it is necessary. Thank you for your time today, and good luck in this upcoming school year and with your athletic seasons.
Hi, everyone. Again, just wanting to share with you a couple of the new things that we're going to use throughout the year. And what you're seeing right here is a screen from SportsU, which is both a computer-based and app-based platform, which we're going to do all of our district communications on for our athletic teams. It allows you as a user to have multiple different teams, as you can see on the far left, for all your multiple students or activities that they would be involved in. It allows you to receive messages, has a calendar, an agenda to help keep track of all the different athletic activities that we will have going on for your students. It does also include ways for you to contact, organize your calendar, and other items to allow you to communicate within your teams and hear from your coaches and others as they work through all the things that come with communicating. So be looking from your programs an invitation to join the SportsU app. And what that'll allow you to do is receive all those communications direct from the coaches. Parents, you are able to post in those items with approval of the administrators, which would be the athletic department, and also the coaches that run those groups. It's an excellent tool for us to make sure we can stay connected in real time for all the things that come up, but also to have an easy and transparent way to organize all of the communications that go on with putting on an excellent co-curricular program. I'm going to share a couple of things about joining and just a few things about the app and web-based services directly from SportsU. Thank you for using this tool to help us stay connected as we work through all of our MMSD athletics programming.
How to join a team or group on SportsU. In the left column, click on the blue Join Team or Group button. Here you can enter your access code. If you don't have an access code, check with your coach, team admin, or group admin to get a code to join. Let's go ahead and add our code now. If you're joining a team, you can now select your role on the team. If you're the coach, choose coach. If you're a player, choose player. And if you're a family member or guardian of a player, choose family. Also, if your role is family, you can now set the name of the player you're representing. We'll show their name next to your name within SportsU so the coach and others on the team know who you're connected to. Next, click Join Team. That's it. Congrats, you're now on a team on SportsU. How to create a team or group in the SportsU app. In the bottom tray, tap on Teams Groups. Next, tap on the floating blue action button in the bottom right. Let's go ahead and make a team now and tap on Create Team. Let's add our team name, then choose the sport, and tap Create Team. Now you have a team on SportsU. Next up, let's add some members to our team. Here you can see your team code. You can copy this code and send it in an email or text message. And anyone with this code can join your team. You can also download a PDF that you can share or print out that includes the team code and instructions on how to join. That's it. Now you're ready to get started with your team on SportsU.
Hi everyone. We wanted to update you as our district as well as the Big 8 Conference has decided to go with digital ticketing through GoFan. With that, in order to purchase tickets to attend any Big 8 game, you will have to purchase them through GoFan. There will be links provided on the school's athletic websites as well as social media accounts, and there will also be QR codes listed at all games to help guide you to purchase tickets. Once you're on the GoFan app, you will have options to buy tickets to the events that you would like to attend. Student tickets will be a flat rate of $4. Adult tickets will be a flat rate of $6. If you plan on attending numerous events, I would suggest downloading the app and making a GoFan account to simplify the process of acquiring the digital ticket. You can also purchase your school's home game card, which can be found on your school's GoFan page. Once you purchase your ticket, it'll show on your cellular device. And when you attend an event or a game, the ticket seller will verify your ticket and scan or tap you in. If you can't purchase tickets online, that is totally okay. We will have a point of sale system where you can use your debit or credit card to purchase as many tickets as you want. There will be no cash options. To help support families and friends, there will be school support serving as ticket support staff will help navigate you through the ticketing and purchasing process through GoFan. So there will be someone on site to help walk you through everything that you need. Also, below this video, there will be a link in another video to physically show you the process of purchasing a ticket on GoFan. Also, for this year's students, okay, this is for students only. If you plan on purchasing an athletic pass, please do so through Infinite Campus. And when you attend games, you must have your ID and the athletic pass sticker on it to get in. So students will still do the same thing to purchase their pass through Infinite Campus. And when you attend games, you must have it on your ID in order to get in. But with all that, we are so excited for this new endeavor and to be partnering with GoFan. We look forward to seeing everyone at our athletic events. Thank you so much.
How to buy tickets. Buying tickets on GoFan is simple. Fans can search for school events on gofan.co or follow the event link sent from the school. From the event link, choose the number of tickets you would like to buy and select Add to Cart. If you have an Apple Pay or Google Pay account, you can pay with one of these quick checkout options. Otherwise, enter your credit card information to pay. You will be directed to check out as a guest. You can also choose to sign in if you have an existing GoFan account. For this demo, we'll check out as a guest. Enter your email address and credit card information and select Buy Now. After the purchase is complete, select View Tickets to transfer or use your tickets. How to use GoFan tickets. Using mobile tickets with GoFan is simple. Fans can access tickets from their email, app, or the reminder text, but tickets must be presented on a mobile device. As fans present their mobile tickets, the total tickets available will appear towards the top of the screen. If all fans arrive together, the Use All button allows you to select and use all available tickets. If two individuals arrive prior to others, simply select the top two tickets. Once selected, Use Two tickets can be tapped to initiate use. The next screen is a secondary verification to ensure the fan is near event staff. Once the green button is clicked, you will see a green check mark signaling the tickets are valid. Fans are able to share mobile tickets via text or email with the Transfer Tickets feature. As the remaining fans arrive at the event, simply select Use All to select all three tickets. Again, the green Use button will complete entry. Tickets that have already been used will appear under the Use tab. If event staff need to verify time of entry, you can check the timestamp for each ticket. How to retrieve your GoFan ticket. After you've purchased a ticket from GoFan, there are 3 ways to retrieve your ticket for entrance into your event. You can retrieve your ticket via text message, email, or the GoFan app. To access your tickets via email, first, take note that you will receive an email receipt of your purchase. Next, you will receive a reminder email 2 hours before the event starts. To quickly find your tickets, search for GoFan within your email account from your mobile device. When you find the email, select the View Tickets link for the event you are attending. To access your tickets via text, take note that you'll be given the option to receive a text reminder of your purchase 2 hours before your event. Once you receive the reminder text, click the link within your text message to view your tickets. To access your tickets via the gofan.co website or GoFan app, which is available for download on Apple iOS devices, sign into your account using your mobile device. Click the Tickets tab at the bottom. Select the ticket for the event you're attending for access to your event. How to access and share tickets. GoFan tickets must be presented on a smartphone for entry. To access your GoFan tickets, you have 3 options. Click View Tickets from your GoFan email, reminder text, or our free iOS or Android app. This is your ticket page. Show this screen at the venue to enter the event. It's always smart to pull up your tickets prior to reaching the game for the fastest entry. To share your tickets with friends or family, select the transfer button on the top of the ticket screen. Select the tickets you wish to share and select transfer tickets on the bottom of the screen. From here, you have the option to choose how you'd like to share them. Click your desired option, select your friends or family, and the transfer is complete. Thanks again for choosing GoFan.
Hi, I hope the summer break has been amazing for you all. I wanted to talk to you about two resources that we have within the athletic departments in Madison. First, mental health and self-care is a huge priority within MMSD as well as athletics. We understand the challenges with being a teenager, competing athletically, maintaining good grades, social media, and just dealing with life itself. With that, all of the 4 high schools has a student services department consisting of counselors, psychologists, social workers, and nurses who are all there to be advocates and support you in whatever it is that you need and to provide outside resources to you and your families. If you need to connect with someone on the student services team, please reach out to your coach or find a trusted adult within your building to help connect you and find someone on the student services team. And with that, everything you share would be confidential. Secondly, another amazing resource that we have is Tyler Kastner, who is a district's athletic counselor. Tyler has worked with a ton of MMSD athletes to provide them with vital information needed to get into a college or university where they will be NCAA eligible to compete their freshman year. If you are interested in playing sports in college, please connect with your AD to set up a meeting with Tyler, who will help provide you with the answers you need. Thanks again, students, and enjoy the rest of your summer. And we are looking forward to having you back in the building.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for attending the Collegiate Athletic Process presentation. My name is Tyler Kastner, and I am currently the Madison Metropolitan School District NCAA liaison. And what that means is I am working with school counselors, athletic directors, coaches on the process of maintaining for students the eligibility, academically, recruiting, anything like that, that can enhance the opportunities for your student to attend college and play athletics, all right? So I was working this year with mainly school counselors and coaches and athletic directors. Hopefully next year I'll get to work a little bit more with individual students, and I'm looking forward to meeting some of you next year, regardless of if it's face-to-face or over video. So hopefully we'll get to do that. All right, the presentation today will cover various topics ranging from each grade level, 9th through 12th. And we will be discussing mainly the tasks that you need to start thinking about in each grade level to hopefully enhance your opportunities beyond high school to play in college. So we'll go through this presentation. It'll be a brief presentation for you, but hopefully it'll get you to start thinking about certain things, okay? All right, first and foremost, we'll talk about a little bit about COVID considerations. And what that means is that what I'm talking about, many schools, universities, and colleges are losing certain athletic programs due to lost revenue. Without, in-person or live sports, they're losing a lot of revenue and having to make the difficult decision to cut certain programs, all right? So what that means for you is I want you to keep all your options on the table as long as possible, all right? That means I know a lot of you would love to attend a D1 or D2 school, but sometimes the D3 NAIA and NJCAA just make a better case for you as far as being a better choice. And so I don't want you to cut or eliminate certain programs just because you're not interested in the level or you're not interested in the college at this point. You never know when that college you may be dreaming of cuts a program or due to something, unforeseen. So you want to make sure that you're keeping all other stakeholders happy as well. You want to make sure that you're keeping everything and anything on the table so you have those choices later on. Always have a backup plan just in case your plan A doesn't work. All right, so we're going to move on from there and talk about 9th grade. All right, so for those of you in 9th grade, all right, start the conversation about planning during and after high school. And what this means is sit down with your family and discuss what are some goals you want to have during high school? So academically, do you want to take rigorous courses? Which courses do you want to take? What's your interests? All right. Like if you're interested in computers, so look at AP computer science, right? Like you want to take certain classes that may look really nice for one, college admissions, and then two, your academic eligibility. So making sure that you're taking courses that are rigorous in nature. Plan how you're going to get there. Athletically, first and foremost, if you're playing, as a freshman and you're on the freshman team or the JV team, you want to make sure that like a goal should be obviously playing varsity. All right. After that, what are your individual goals that you want to achieve? All right. So come up with kind of like a game plan for your 4 years athletically. What kind of goals or, records do you want to have individually for yourself? And then lastly, what kind of extracurriculars do you want to have beyond just athletics? So start thinking of some different areas that you want to kind of, maybe venture into or start working with and getting a better resume overall to, give to a college for college admissions. All right. Secondly, one of the other important things that you need to know is where to find your 48H list of core classes. This is for NCAA Division I and II. If you are hopefully dreaming of playing Division I or Division II, you need to know where this list is because you have to take courses on this list to achieve academic eligibility to play Division I or II. The schools I have listed below are all the 4 high schools in Madison and the ACT code. You will need to have the ACT code of your school to find this list of 48H. You will go to eligibilitycenter.org. You'll type in the ACT code and it will give you a list by subject of the courses that you can take to qualify academically just with your courses, all right, for each individual high school for NCAA Division I and II. All right, you need to make sure that you're taking challenging courses and qualifying academically. Taking the challenging courses are going to allow you to gain admission into the school. That is probably the most important thing you can do because you can always qualify academically for NCAA, but you may not qualify admissions-wise to get into the school. So you need to be looking at taking challenging courses, honors, AP, things like that. Okay, but find this list and take courses on that list. All right. Freshmen also earn best grades possible in all subjects, especially those core courses. You will be taking some of those courses on the 48H for your school as freshmen. There's no way around it. You're going to take English, math, science, history, most likely, maybe a world language as a freshman. All of those count for NCAA Division I and II academic eligibility, okay? So make sure that you're earning your best grades possible. If you're earning your best grades possible in core courses, you're setting up a really good foundation for sophomore year. And most likely, most of those courses anyway are graduation courses anyway. So you, first and foremost, you have to graduate high school for any level, Division I, II, III, NAIA, or NJCAA. So this is setting you up for sophomore, junior, and senior year by getting those best grades possible. All right, then take your 9th grade standardized test seriously to gauge where you stand for the ACT. All right, you want to kind of take the pre-ACT or SAT and just see where you are. See what, what subjects you're really strong in and you can kind of build on that. And then what subjects you're a little weaker in and where you can kind of like get tutoring or get some help yourself, improve kind of your chances to get an overall really good score. All right, start working on adjusting your overall resume. And I talked about this a little earlier, but start working on those extracurriculars that are non-athletic, okay? And that means like volunteering in the community or getting a part-time or full-time job. You're basically kind of building a resume. It's like a job, kind of a job resume for college admissions. You want to make sure that the college is looking at you and saying, oh, they're not just an athlete who does really well. They're an athlete, plus they're involved in the community, and they're doing a lot of good things in the community. We want that student because they're going to bring a lot to our campus, okay? So you're building that. So start freshman year. They want to see that you're going to do 4 years of some sort of volunteer service as well, okay? All right, for sophomores, adjust the plan for high school and beyond and create a list of schools for both athletics and academics. And what this means is we want to make sure that we're starting to create that list now of colleges and universities that you're wanting to go to. It should be at each level. You should have something athletically that you think you can fit into. And if you're not sure or you're, unsure of like if you can hit the D1 level, then just leave it at D2 and down or D3 and down. That's absolutely fine. You can always, this list is going to be flexible. You can change the list as you kind of see fit due to circumstances. Academically, same thing. When you're taking rigorous courses, which colleges can you get into? What are your, what we talk about, your reach, safety, match schools, things like that. Like, so start working on a list. It doesn't have to be cohesive with both, lists, but start working on a list for both of those. Continue earning the best grades possible in all subjects. We'll continue to harp on that. That's obviously super important. You want to get 2 years under your belt to build that strong foundation for junior and senior year. And then by the end of 10th grade year, you should register for an Eligibility Center account. If you are a varsity player as a sophomore, you should definitely register for the Eligibility Center account if you want to play Division I or II athletics. All right. It does cost, I think, around $100 to register. So you want to make sure that you're ready, with the payment on hand and things like that. If you are eligible for a fee waiver, you can also request one from your school counselor. They can punch it into the system if you are eligible. Okay. So by the end of 10th grade year, you should be doing that. If you're not a varsity player and you're unsure if you're going to play D1 or D2, it is okay to just kind of wait on it and not register until you're for sure looking at that D1 or D2 level. You will go to eligibilitycenter.org and create your registration account. Okay, take any 10th grade standardized test seriously to gauge where you stand for the ACT or SAT. It just means basically the same thing as freshman year. You have one more year before the final test, before the big, the big ACT day. And so you want to make sure that you are really taking into consideration where your strengths and weaknesses are with each subject. All right, NCAA Division I and II, in addition to NAIA, I'll take your ACT or SAT score and they'll kind of break it down to figure out if you will be eligible for the full ride athletic scholarship or a full qualifier, partial qualifier, etc. All right. Make up any courses that are needed for graduation immediately. You want to make sure that you are taking courses and making them up. So if you have any courses that you need for graduation, that is obviously the most important. If you are looking at the Division I level, it's the only rule for Division I. Division II, III, NAIA, and NJCAA do not have this rule. You will lock in 10 of your core courses after summer of junior year. So you need to make up any courses you failed or any courses that you want to get a better grade in. Those need to be in the system by the end of the summer of your junior year. Okay, that's for Division I if you're looking at that level. Okay, you still need to make up those graduation credits immediately because you don't want to be playing catch up as a senior and junior. But you need to make sure that you are taking courses and getting those locked in, especially for if you are a Division I athlete. Okay. Make sure you have at least 10 core courses. This is for juniors, and they fit with the required subjects for NCAA eligibility. This is what I just talked about. All right, so at the end of the summer of junior year, NCAA, once they get your official transcript, will basically break it down, and they lock in the 10 best grades you have. So if you didn't make those classes up and you're going into senior year, or you have low grades and you have to count those, they count them. You cannot change those. The old rule used to be you can change those in and out. You cannot change the 10 that NCAA locks in. Okay? Take the ACT and SAT and obtain the highest score possible. Easier said than done, obviously. Take it easy. Try to take a deep breath. I know it's hard, but this is a good time to relax and take the ACT and SAT and just, score the highest score possible you can and know that you worked really hard to get there. Okay? This is obviously for both of those eligibility standards. For college admissions, obviously the composite ACT score is really important. And then also for eligibility for NCAA Division I and II, they're going to look at all 4 of your subject tests on the ACT and add them together. And that will help calculate your academic eligibility with your core course GPA. Okay. And then if you are looking at NAIA schools, you can register for that at myplay.naia.org. Just go in there and register for an account, and you can also grab a fee waiver from your school counselor and they'll submit that for you. Okay? All right, after junior year, you should have your NCAA school lead or registrar or school counselor send an official transcript to the Eligibility Center. They have to have an official transcript on hand to start breaking down your eligibility. This speeds up the process when you're a senior so you can start summer practices, things like that. So you want to make sure that you do send one after junior year. All right, and discuss with your counselor, family. I would also put in there the collegiate options available to you to make up any courses for graduation or to improve upon grades. You want to obviously make sure you do this before the end of summer, before you start your senior year. Okay, and then when scheduling classes for 12th grade, know and choose core courses as electives. You want to make sure that you're picking core classes on that 48H list. There are a lot of AP and honors courses on there, so make sure you're challenging yourself for college admissions, and then also that you're doubling up kind of that Division I or II standard by taking those core courses as well for your school. All right, 12th grade, congratulations, you made it. All right, develop and implement a plan of action for completing college applications and supplementary material. All I would love for you guys to do is just basically come up with a timeline of when you're gonna, when each and every college application you're gonna submit, when are their deadlines, when are their early decisions, early actions, things like that. When are you gonna complete the application? When are you gonna get your personal essays ready, your, letters of recommendation, your supplementary essays, things like that. When is all that going to be completed for senior year? So develop that plan of action before you go into senior year. It is super busy. You don't want to be messing around with like, oh, did I submit this? Did I submit this? No, you have a checklist. You've gotten it all kind of under control. All right, take as many required and elective core courses as you can. We talked about this earlier, so make sure you're doing that. You want to make sure that you're taking as many core courses as possible. As long as you are, on track for graduation, that's obviously the first and foremost thing you need to do that's important. And then lastly, we talk about completing the FAFSA as early as possible. Make sure that you complete your FAFSA. Every student athlete needs to complete the FAFSA. Even though you may be getting a full ride scholarship or you're getting grants and awards from a certain university, you need to make sure you complete the FAFSA. You never know when you're going to get free money. And if you do get free money, that's fantastic. So make sure that you are completing the FAFSA as early as possible. Plus, you don't want to wait till the end. So if the federal or state runs out of money, you're not able to get, the grants or awards that they give you. So you want to make sure October, when it opens up, you want to go October, November, December, somewhere in there, you should be finalizing your FAFSA and having that complete. All right, and then lastly for seniors, take that SAT or ACT again if necessary, all right? If you feel like your first score wasn't really good, I would recommend taking it again. There's no harm in taking it twice. A lot of people take it twice. Submit your score. If you feel comfortable in submitting it for the 4 free colleges, go for it. My recommendation sometimes is usually just wait, see what you get, and then submit it. Especially if you're kind of unsure where you're gonna land or what you're gonna get. So you can always send it after you receive the score back. I know it does cost an extra, I think like $12 to send it to a college or to the NCAA, but it does help kind of take a little bit of pressure off knowing that the score is not going to be submitted right away. You get to see what it is. And then if it is better, great. You get to send it and it'll hopefully improve your chances of college admissions. All right. Update any information in the Eligibility Center portal and complete amateur certification. You should be doing this anyway. So anytime you move personal records, things like taking a failed course over and doing that, you should be updating that every year. And then you're going to check a button for amateur certification. Basically in April, it opens up and just states that you didn't get paid to play in high school. All right, after graduation date posts on official transcript, ask your school registrar, NCAA lead to download the official transcript Eligibility Center. This just means that you're going to send your official transcript with a graduation date posted to the Eligibility Center for them to finalize your academic eligibility. And at this point, it should just be kind of a quick process. They just need to break down your senior year and make sure that you took everything you needed and you align with all of the academic requirements, okay? But it has to be an official transcript with a graduation date, so make sure that's on there when you send it. All right, and then lastly, where can you go for help? High school coaches, athletic directors have great resources. Please utilize them. They have connections in the college world. They know what they're talking about as far as your athletic ability, and they can really assist you in kind of developing a good game plan of which schools may be best fit for you athletically. Academically, they can take a look at that stuff and help you out kind of a little bit on that as well. So they're great resources. Please utilize them. And then school counselors and teachers obviously could help with, personal, like editing personal essays, looking at, your letters of rec to make sure that they align with where they need to be, or college application deadlines, FAFSA, things like that. So please utilize them also. And with all 4 of these, you can definitely utilize them at the same time and get, all your tasks done. So hopefully you can utilize this next year in person, but if not, utilize those video calls and things like that. And I hope you got something out of the presentation. I hope you can start working on this. This is a perfect time to do it over the summer, to start working on your lists and timelines and things like that.
I want to make you aware of another excellent service that we're able to offer all of our MMSD student athletes and families as they want to follow activities for our students. In fact, this will encompass all of the Big 8 conference as we've all become NFHS network schools. So all of our home and away games that are hosted in our spectator gymnasiums or stadiums do have the ability to be streamed through the NFHS network. What you're seeing here is just how you can subscribe to the events. It allows you to follow, to find out when new events are coming on. You can subscribe. It is a subscription service. I believe it's about $10 a month for a subscription, and that gets you access to all events that are covered on the NFHS network, not just your own school events. Also linked in with this, along with our GoFan online ticketing profile and program, which you heard before, we do allow you to buy tickets through this. So our streaming and our in-person fan experience are definitely connected as we work through that. Really looking forward to being able to offer this service so we can have people from across the country check out our events, but also for those of you that maybe aren't able to make it in person, are able to watch and cheer on our students through that streaming device. So we look forward to being able to provide not only the NFHS network as a subscription, and that's going to be across all of the Big 8 Conference, and you'll see that in some of our other state schools as well. We do have some programs that also will be sharing their live streams via Huddle and our YouTube channel. So stay tuned to this same platform for additional ways to watch and support all of our teams. Another item that I'm able to share and touch base on with you for across all of our schools is just wanting you to know how to stay up to date with what the information that you need to know. So our expectations out of our athletic department is to have very consistent communications using our websites, the use of the school newsletter, but also encouraging you to reach out to our athletic directors and athletic assistants if you've got any questions via email, or when we return to the buildings, obviously by phone or stopping in person. It's important for us that you get the information that you need, and we're going to try to keep our social media and websites updated with that information, along with, as you heard prior, using that SportsU app for immediate communication so you all can stay connected with what you need to know around our athletic programs. One other item kind of related to communication, which I'm excited to touch base on for all of our schools, is what we're going to be doing around some of our coaches' professional development training. Really excited about bringing back a program this year where we can have bi-monthly meetings for all of our coaches to access diversity, equity, inclusion training around mental health for both themselves and their student athletes, along with other professional development topics to really increase the educational capacity for all of our coaches. Look for some updates on those aforementioned communication tools. We look forward to sharing some of those stories and some of those resources that we're going to use with our coaches for all of our athletics community to be able to access. Thank you very much, and we look forward to a wonderful season.